Call me out upon the waters.
Stream starting soon.
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 Three, two, one.
Good evening! Welcome to another episode of Friday Night Youth Live with me, Mark.
And me, Becca. What episode number are we on, Mark?
Episode number 11. 1-1. Isn't that crazy?
11.
What were you going to do? I'll do
There we go.
10. 11. You're so welcome. We've been here on YouTube Live every Friday. Last week we took a little break to come together in Zoom, but we're back with lots of exciting stuff tonight. It's going to be an absolutely belting episode. One thing you can do right now is go and share the experience. Go and share it with a friend. Send them the link. Why not just put it in a message and say, hey, why don't you check out my youth group? Or hey, why don't you check out this? And send it to them on a text, DM it to them on Instagram. Experiences that are good or worth sharing, right?
It's true. Yeah, you could even be FaceTiming and watching it at the same time.
Oh yeah, that's a cool idea.
Virtual experience.
Yeah,
together.
start a watch party, like have a little call while you're watching it and you can like chat about it. Good to see a few people on the chat. We got Emma on the chat. What up, Emma?
Welcome, Holly. Good to see you.
And a couple of leaders on there as well. And Matthew, how's the dog? Hope that Betty is good. Good to see you guys in the chat. Hey, this is a really exciting week. Why is this a particularly exciting week?
It is a particularly exciting week
because this is the very first week that we have our new first years able to join us on a live stream. Let's hear it for our new first years.
You are so welcome. We're really excited to have you.
Yeah, it's awesome. This is the time of year when P7's kind of winding up and you're starting to normally be going on your high school visit days, so it's the time of year when you normally swap over to youth. Normally you'd be with us in person and we'd be in Gordy on a Friday night all together, but actually this is a kind of different but also cool way of coming and checking out youth for the first time. Hey, you know what? If you're just finished up P7, you're a new S1, we'd love to hear from you in the chat. Why don't you come and say hi?
Give us a wee hello.
Yeah, let us know who's there. Give us a wee wave. Tell us that you're hanging out. We got some people in the chat welcoming you. I had a good time with all of the new S1s on Tuesday. We hung out on Zoom. It was great. So if you're tuning in, maybe you're not wanting to put in on the chat just now, but we want you to know that you're so welcome. Hope you're going to have a fun time. Hey, how can people keep in contact with us?
There's a few ways you can keep in contact. We have an Instagram, so Destiny Youth Edinburgh, at Destiny Youth Edinburgh as is our Instagram, or you can send us an email, youth@destinyedinburgh.com. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah. Hey, what have you been up to? What's this week? How have you felt?
What's this week?
It's not been quite as nice, has it?
No, I've been, the weather is not as nice for social distancing meetups, but I saw a friend today at an appropriate social distance, had a coffee in the park. It was was great.
Yeah, that's one of the exciting things. That let us know. Have you been able to see some friends since the restrictions have been lifted? Let us know on the chat what you've been doing since we last live streamed 2 weeks ago. Have you been able to see any friends? What did you get up to? I've been training with a friend in the park. We've been doing some socially distanced training, some sprints,
distancing push-ups.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, can you not tell? Wow, really been going for it. Emma's telling us that she's 9S2. Everybody's obviously gone up years.
Yeah.
Isn't that very exciting? We're getting lots of welcomes on the chat. Hey, you know what would be a really nice thing to be able to have on a horrible rainy night like tonight?
What?
Imagine you could get like a Domino's pizza like delivered to your door.
That would be amazing. There's nothing like a hot and fresh pizza delivered on a cold night. You can watch a movie after you watch the live stream. That would just be amazing.
Yeah, because every type of like movie experience is made better by snacks. You know what? Actually, we're giving away a Domino's during the live stream, so you don't have to do anything other than to chat. Put something in the chat, your favorite type of pizza. And you know what? We might be able to make it happen.
You
by
are
the end of the stream.
Immediately entered in to win a pizza. Usually you have to do like a challenge and you have to win the challenge. But this week you just engage on the chat, say hello, tell us we look great, whatever, and then you are entered to win.
Yes, anyone who posts a little hello or a little comment in the chat is in it to win it, and we'll, during the interview later, we'll get that sorted out for you, and hopefully it'll arrive by the end of the stream. How's your small group going?
My small group is going great. We're having a great time. How's your small group?
My small group's going great as well. It's been really kind of fun to hang out. Sometimes there's been like one or two of us. Sometimes there's been a few more. But I've just enjoyed seeing how people are doing, checking in.
Yeah, even when it's like 4 or 5 of us, I think that's a really great opportunity to just. I've really enjoyed getting to know the girls better and playing some games. We had a social the other week. That was great.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
We love to hang out and have like a bit of a party on a Friday night, but small groups are really the secret sauce, the special ingredient of our youth ministry. They're the times when we get to know each other better. They're the times where we're really part of family. So if you're not engaged in a small group, you are missing out. You're missing out on getting to know people. You're missing out on hanging out with us as leaders and finding out more about us. And you're missing out just being part of an awesome family. There's a space for you in our small group. So if you normally connect on a Friday night and you're not part of a small group, please get involved. Let us know, DM us on Instagram, or if you're in the Edinburgh area and maybe your friend has sent you an invite to be part of, just to check this out, just to watch it, and you're wondering, hey, I'd like to be part of the family, I'd like to get to know some people. We'd love to get you involved if you're in the Edinburgh area. Just send us a DM on Instagram. You follow us, again, as Beck said, destinyyouthedinburgh.com. Or you can send us an email. The email address is below, but we would love to have you. Here's a little schedule of when.
It's a good time.
Yeah, good time indeed. So yeah, I'm seeing a few people posting. We've got chicken, sweet corn, good shout.
There we go.
Graham likes a bit of chicken on his pizza. Can't say bad to that. Double pepperoni for Pietro.
Oh yeah, I could go.
I wonder does Pietro as an Italian actually eat Domino's?
Do you know, we ate pizza tonight, but it was far inferior to Domino's. We actually had a frozen little pizza for dinner.
It wasn't bad, but it's no Domino's.
It's no Domino's.
No Domino's. Hey, do you want to tell us about the coronavirus challenge? What happened in the coronavirus challenge?
Well, this week we had an entry.
We did.
That was just blew our minds.
It's mind blowing.
It was just phenomenal. So we decided that this week the challenge is to beat that entry.
Absolutely. So if you can do anything that is better than this effort for our bottle flipping coronavirus challenge, sent in by the main man, Mr. Forrest, what a legend. This is your challenge for the week, try and beat Forrest.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've been doing this for about 2 hours now, by the way. 8, 9, 10, 11, come on God, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 24!
I'm just so impressed.
24 bottle flips
That's amazing.
in a row.
That's amazing. And it was,
First time as well.
wow.
No, it wasn't first time. I'm kidding you. I think that was 2 hours worth of effort. Well played, Forrest. That was unbelievable. So, you don't have to necessarily do more bottle flips than Forrest, but can you do something more creative with a bottle flip, or something that also makes us go?
A little bit stylish. Maybe you could do a backflip and a bottle flip at the same time.
Yeah.
But don't hurt yourself.
No, don't. Yeah. Make sure you take all medical precautions and risk assess everything you want
Yes,
to do.
it's very important.
Yeah. So, and if something goes wrong, don't say that it was us that told
No.
you to do it.
No.
Yeah. Good. Everyone, get your attempts in. You can send them again by DM them to us. You can also send them through your small group leader if you're part of a small group. You can WhatsApp them to your small group leader, or just email them in. We'd love to see lots more entries. Forrest, absolute legend. Love that.
Amazing.
Hey, what's happening tonight? Tonight's got a bit of a special kind of additional thing that we've not done before, really.
Tonight we've got a game.
And we hope that you stick around for.
It's going to be great.
Yeah. But what you were saying before, what were you?
Oh yeah, I thought we were going to get ready for it. We are. We've got a bit of an exciting get to know you game.
Yeah, this is exciting. So, in honour of the new S1s, not sure if any of you are actually on the chat yet, but hopefully some of you are watching and you're
Maybe
seeing
they're
this.
shy.
Or maybe they're watching this back. Yeah, maybe they're
Yeah.
shy. That's okay.
That's okay.
But we wanted to help you to have a chance to get to know some of our leaders. And to be fair, if you've been in youth for a long time, I think this is quite a hard game. So I want to challenge you to see how many you can get right. And actually, Beck's going to play because she doesn't know any of these apart from her own. So she can score a maximum of, I guess we're not going to let you have your own. So you can score a maximum of 9. So
Yeah.
we'll see how we go. We might do 5, we might do 10. But here's what's going to happen. I have, let me show you so I can share it. Give me 1 sec.
I was very late and I just dressed myself very fast and I took it the same trousers and I put it on. I just walk away from my home and in the streets someone see my underwear go off from my trousers, and they shout, hey, you lost your underwear. Me, no, I'm wearing my underwear. Yeah, but this is the old one and very dirty. Oh, so bad.
So apparently they can't hear us when we're not on the screen, so we'll go back and forward so we can
will.
do a little bit of comments. So
Indeed.
Alright, so let's just repeat for those that
Just to repeat,
what did you go for the first one?
I guessed it was Kevin, and my rationale was that he's American and we say underwear, not pants. So that was my guess.
Fair. Have a little chat on the chat. Let us know if how many have you got out of 1 so far. We'll move on to number 2. You're 0 from 1.
0 out of
0
1.
from 1. Okay. Number 2. Here we go. I was the getaway driver in a film. I played the getaway driver in a film.
Getaway driver.
Let's put the leaders back up and you can
Yeah,
have a
let's put those back up.
So who do you reckon?
I reckon that was...
Do you want another look?
Yeah, give me another look there. Okay.
You got an answer?
Yes. I'm gonna go with James.
You're going to go with James?
Yeah.
Final answer?
Yeah, final answer.
You sure?
Yeah.
Who do you think it is on the chat? Let us know. And we're going to see in 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, random fact for me, I was once a getaway driver in a film that got the runner-up prize at a film festival.
Well done, you got one. Woo! That was a pretty cool fact, eh? I didn't know that about James. Getaway driver. Not only that, but it came second in a film festival.
That's cool.
It is cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, you're 1 from 2.
Yeah.
Keep it going on the chat. Keep the guests coming in. Tell us how many you've got. Number 3, you ready for it?
Yeah.
I used to sell balloons at the zoo.
Balloons at the zoo.
Balloons at the zoo. Let's have another look at the leaders.
Let's do it.
What's your first instinct before we look at the leaders?
I actually think I know this one.
You think you know
I
this one?
do,
Well,
yeah.
we'll have a wee look at the leaders. Let everybody else see who they want to pick. What do you reckon?
I reckon it's Rona.
You think it's Rona?
I think it's Rona, yeah.
Okay, last opportunity to take your guess at home. Put it in the chat, and we're going to reveal in 3, 2, 1. Here it is.
I used to sell balloons at the zoo. It was a summer job and the best job I ever had.
You're doing well.
I don't know if that one was fair because I think I knew that one.
You actually knew that.
Yeah.
You actually knew that one.
Yeah.
Oh, great thought it was me, except there's his wife, so I'm a bit concerned about that. Got a few people putting in some nice symbols in the chat, but let us know. So you're 2 from 3?
Yes.
That's pretty good. That's not all of them. That's pretty good. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Next one. Here we go. You ready for it? One of my first jobs was scooping gelato. One of my first jobs was scooping gelato. Tell us who you think that is in the chat. I'll give you 5 seconds to put it in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, if you need a reminder. There's your reminder. So, got your answer locked in. Make sure it's locked in. Ready? We're going to find out the answer in 3, 2, 1. Here we go.
I used to make gelato in a gelato shop.
It was you.
It was me. That's why I didn't guess.
Yeah, see, the smart people among you would have noticed that, I reckon, and
Yeah.
guessed you. Maybe you noticed that. Well done if you noticed that. So that one doesn't count for you, but
Sorry.
maybe that gives a chance for people to catch up.
It
How many
does.
are you on? Put it in the chat out of 4. How many have you got so far out of 4? Love to know. Anyone got more than none? More than one? Anyone got 1 or 2?
I saw Emma's got one there.
Oh
That's
yeah,
good.
she's picked up one.
Yeah.
That's good. Right, we'll move on to number 5 here. We go have a little look at this. I was born with jet black hair. I was born with jet black hair. What do you reckon?
I feel like it might be you.
You think it's me?
I can't remember.
You can't remember. If you get this wrong, you know you're in like huge trouble. Like, if this is me and you've got this wrong,
I don't think it's you.
you don't think it's
It's
me.
not you, no.
Who are you going to go for then?
Uh,
Let's have a little look.
let's
Let's
have
have a
a
little
look.
reminder.
Maybe Lee?
Maybe Lee. I think it's Lee, so I'll give you guys a chance at home to have another little look. You must be narrowing them down now. I hope you're keeping a record. Have a little look who you think it is. You locked in your answers? Okay, we're going to tell you who it is in 3, 2, 1. I was born with jet black hair all over my head. And over the next few weeks and months after that, it eventually fell out.
Should have gone.
You got it wrong.
Should have gone with my gut instinct.
Coming up on a year 9 and you got it wrong. You don't know that I was born with jet black hair.
I did, and then I forgot.
It's okay, you're forgiven. I wonder if anybody got that. That was an absolute wild card. I even got my mum to send me a baby picture this afternoon.
Emma Russell, we had David kind of comment in there that they thought it was you. So, but I tipped him off, I think.
You tipped them off.
Yeah.
Well done if you got that. That was a tough one. You would have had to have known. Good. You got a little bonus tonight as well. You got to see a little baby picture of me. So hashtag winning. Okay, so five down. How many are you on?
4,
No,
3.
you're cheating and everything. This is ridiculous. 3.
Are we gonna do more tonight?
Will we do more tonight? Or will we pause it there?
I don't know. We could pause it there.
Let's pause it there and leave it for next week. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to leave you on tenterhooks, so you're going to have to come back next week and find out who the other 5 are. Tell us how many you got out of 5 for the first half of the leader quiz. Emma Russell says she got 3. Well done, Emma.
Good job.
Congratulations. Can anyone beat 3? Let us know. David was doing pretty well at one point, so maybe he'll have done more than 3. But what we're going to do just now is we're going to go into a worship song. If you're joining us as a guest, you're not normally part of Destiny Youth and you're coming to check us out, or maybe you're here and you're just joining S1, you're just joining Youth, and this is your very first night. One of the things that we love to do is we love to worship. And worship is much more than just singing a song. Worship's actually our whole lives. It's everything that we do every day, and we have an opportunity in everything we do to praise and worship God. But one of the ways that we do that, to think about how awesome God is and to speak out how the true things about Him is by actually singing a worship song. And so we're going to do that just now. So this is an opportunity for you to engage with God. So I don't know where you are. You might be in your living room surrounded by a bunch of people. You might be in your bedroom. But take this opportunity to just shut your eyes, focus on God, think about Him, and actually allow Him to come and just meet with you as you worship. Give it your all, go for it. Don't worry about anyone else that's around you. Shout at the top of your voice and dance a little bit if you want to. But We've got a couple of youth that are leading us in worship, which is awesome. So thank you, Lois and Martha, for doing that. And let's worship just now.
Call me out upon the waters, the great unknown, where feet may fail, and there I find you in the mystery, in oceans deep, my faith will stand. So I will call upon your name and keep my eyes above the waves. When oceans rise, my soul will rest in your embrace. For I am yours and you are mine. Your grace abounds the deepest waters. Your sovereign hand will be my guide. Though feet may fail and fear surrounds me, you've never failed and you won't start now. So I will call upon your name and keep my eyes above the waves. When oceans rise, my soul will rest in your embrace. For I am yours, and you are lead me where my trust is without borders. Let me walk upon the waters wherever you would call me. Take me deeper than my feet could ever wander, and my faith would be made stronger in the presence of my Savior. Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders. Let me walk upon the waters wherever you would call me. Take me deeper than my feet could ever wander, and my faith would be made stronger in the presence of my Savior. So I will call upon your name and keep my eyes above the waves. My soul will rest in your embrace. For I am yours, and you are mine.
Love that.
Yeah, so good.
They did such an awesome job. It was great to hear you both singing together as well, Lois and Martha, and well done for being willing to send that in and to lead us in worship. And do you know, some of the stuff in that song is just so helpful. Is like I will, like the idea that we keep our eyes on Jesus as the waves come in in the midst of storms. And you know, the season we've been in has been pretty crazy. Maybe again, if you're watching this and you're in US1 or you're just finishing up P7, you've had to deal with quite a lot of disappointment, and it's been quite stormy. You haven't been able to have a prom or have your last day at school, or you might be even watching this as well and you're you finished up school now in high school, and you finished S5 and you decide to leave, or you finished S6 and you decide to leave, and you have a sense of loss because you know you weren't able to finish up things the way you'd like. But the encouragement of that worship song is that as we keep our eyes on Jesus, he helps us and brings us peace in those stormy moments. So what have we got now?
We've got an interview.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This is a very special interview. Over the last number of weeks, there's been a lot going on in our world with the death of George Floyd and the associated protests, with coronavirus, and with a lot of things in the media and the news around racism. And as a youth ministry, we believe in the Bible, and we believe that it's important to apply the Bible to these massively important topics. So we're going to take a little bit of time to hear from a few of our own youth leaders around this. I interviewed a couple of our youth leaders earlier today around this whole area of racism, their experience, what the Bible has to say about it. I hope that you'll find this enlightening. I hope you'll find this challenging. I hope you'll find this encouraging. And yeah, so roll VT, and what you need to do is you want to make yourself a cup of tea, make yourself comfortable, and really engage with this. Really listen to what they have to say. And it's a bit longer maybe than what we normally do on a Friday night. So just want to give you that warning so you prepare yourself, get yourself bedded in, and really take this in, because there's some really great stuff that they have to share. So we'll be back in a bit, and enjoy the interview.
Wants to introduce themselves first. Go for it.
I'll go first. My name is Jessica. I am located at the Leith location, and I lead an awesome group of youth on Monday nights virtually. I am originally from the Cayman Islands, and I've been in the UK for over 16 years now.
What do you like to do when you're not working, or what do you do for work, and what do you like to do when you're not working?
Well, for what I do for work is I do events, which is a really strange phenomenon, because people think that in my, private time I like to plan events, and I don't. I like to work to earn my money, but outside of that, I'm actually terrible at planning. And so I spend my time reading. I like to cook, but not all the time. I also love to go out and enjoy food in restaurants, which I can't do just yet, but I have been supporting small local businesses with takeaway. And I like to hinge. I know women will know what that is. That's like, pottering around your house and tidying it and, putting up beautiful designs of things and picture frames and all sorts of stuff.
What did you call it?
Hinching.
Hinching.
Hinching, yes.
Hinching.
That's the one, yeah.
I've never heard that in my life before. Well, there you go. And what about this other fine-looking man below me in the screen? Maybe he's not below me on your screen, but he's below me on my screen.
Yeah, my name is David Irakoze, and I'm originally from Burundi. And I've been here for almost 2 years now. And I'm located in Gorgi, and I work with the youth. It's been a pleasure for me to be part of this ministry. What I like to do, I enjoy sport, running especially, and I enjoy reading and music as well. Also married, and I've got 2 beautiful daughters.
What age are your daughters?
The older one just turned 3, and the younger one is 1.5. My wife is Scottish. Yes, she's from here, and I'm from Burundi.
Tell us a little bit about kind of how the last couple of weeks has affected you, and as well, maybe how have you experienced racism personally?
I mean, it's been tough. It's been tough, especially to the people of God, the church. I would say we are the people who are supposed to stand for justice and love and equality, and seeing what's happening around the world. It's personally, it's been had a whole combination of emotions: sadness, sometimes anger, and also, to be honest, sometimes also feeling like defendness for my friends, because we are human, and we have feelings. So it's been really tough to see what's happening. Yeah, and my experience, I've said that I've been here almost a couple of years. Since I've been here, we talked about a couple of times. There's a time when I was, we were just walking, myself and my wife, and I would see, people pointing and say, "That's an interesting couple," something like that. And for me, it's more of my mentality on racism. What I did, I just looked at them and just smiled at them and say, "Hi, how are you doing?" And they're like, "Oh," I say, "Hi." But I just, didn't show any anger or anything, but just try to ignore it. But also, there's a time when I was attending an event, and it was mostly white people, and so, and I just realized that the people who were beside me were were trying to ignore me, say, not wanting to talk, but then I just challenged them and I brought up a conversation and we started talking, and actually turned out that we had a really, really good conversation. It ended well, really well. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really helpful. Thanks for giving us an insight. And let's pivot towards Jess. How has the last couple of weeks been for you, and also what's your experience personally been of racism?
I would say that the last couple of weeks has hit very close to home for me, and I'm sure it's hit very close to home for quite a lot of people, particularly in this day and age where we have to rely on, well, not have to rely, but actually if you want to get the real pulse of what's going on, social media is where you get the accurate news and you get both sides of it. And so, you know, for myself, seeing quite a lot of stuff on social media, it's really shined a light on a pre-existing thing that has been going on for a very, very long time. And there were a few things that I saw, but one that really brought it close to mind of what was going on, and I can actually share the picture that I saw. It is basically, George Floyd in his last moments and somebody recording it, but in actual fact, it's showing that what it is a public lynching. And for a lot of people, you know, that kind of just showed that there's not been much progression. There's not been that much change that's happening. It's only just now being recorded and highlighted. And for myself, what I've experienced quite often is not only in my personal life, you know, my day-to-day going out and about, but also in the corporate world. As a Black woman, it's really difficult to progress and to succeed. And, you know, you're always faced with all of these many things. And, you know, for me, I saw the speech by John Boyega, who he stars in Star Wars. Many people know him in Star Wars. And he gave a speech in Hyde Park. And I think that was the starting point of this really visceral, physical feeling deep in the pit of my stomach. You know, what's been going on has physically affected, you know, my body. And one of the phrases he said was, you know, every Black person remembers the first time they were made aware that they were Black. Because we're not born with this knowledge. Like, I had no clue. Honestly, I had no clue, you know. And you remember that and you're like, yeah. And then it is a series of progressional things that happens over time that almost normalizes this, you know. And so seeing what's happened in the media and realizing, oh my gosh, this has been normalized for so long that it takes an outpouring and an outcry of people on social media oppressing and a pressure. You know, it's taken people to really dig deep for that compassion. And, you know, for myself and the many times that I've experienced it, I've always had to, you know, ask God to, one, in the face of it, help me not to respond in kind, and to pray for that person. And I can give you a really good example corporately. In a few previous companies before, I was doing an event, and it was a charity event. And, you know, there was many affluent, wealthy people in Glasgow at this event. And the whole point of it was to raise money. And somebody at the table asked one of the investment managers to call me over. And I went over there and I knelt down thinking it was a hospitality question because, you know, this is my job. They just wanted to let you know that you looked just like our made in Barbados. And I was a bit taken aback. Sorry, what do you mean? She pulled out pictures of her phone and showed me pictures of a Black woman barefoot caring for all of her children. And, you know, I was like, I didn't know what to say. Honestly, didn't know what to say. And the investment manager was quite aware that this was an uncomfortable position that he put me in, because he was like, I'm so sorry. And I was like, but this shouldn't have been allowed to happen. Like, you know, how is this happening? And it's these kind of small things that are quite prevalent. And, you know, for me, I had to take a step back, and I had to go, do you know what, God, I really hope that you change her heart and change her, you know, deep down in here.
You know, this should matter more to us as Christians than it should to anybody else, really, that doesn't have a faith or belief. As far as I can see in the Bible, like, this is so close to the heart of God. And so maybe just give us a flavor of, you know, how does your faith and your relationship with Jesus, like, and what you read in the Bible, really help you to understand how much this matters to him, and also inspire you as you fight for kind of justice in the area of racism. I wonder, David, if you want to go first and share a little bit about that.
Yeah, thank you. You know, I mean, I think racism needs to be addressed properly, because there's something wrong in the way that we approach it. And I think that's the main reason why it actually became almost normal, like Jessica said. You know, first, I believe that there is one race. Although they say that there is a black race, you know, white race, and whatever they say, but the Bible says that we were created in the image of God, and God created one man, and we were all born from this man called Adam. So when God created us, he created us in his own image, and he created us as one race called a human race. So when we start dividing people based on this word race, we are already confused. So secondly, since we are followers of Jesus Christ, I believe that the church is the one that is responsible to fight against racism, because we are the ones who have the power. We are the ones who have the ability, because fighting this issue, which is rooted in our sinful nature, no government is going to be able to solve this problem. History has proven to us that they're not going to be able to do it. I feel like it's the time that the church takes this issue personally as our responsibility, and starts focusing more on this issue. And I'm really glad that now, especially in churches, we are talking about it, because previously you could see that we were not aware of what was happening. And as Jessica said, we had almost forgotten that this is a big issue until George Floyd was killed, and we are realizing in the whole world, everyone is shaking, everyone is angry, everyone is moved, and you say, oh, we've forgotten that this is a really, really big issue. So to me, I would like to approach it as in a biblical perspective. Jesus is the only answer. He is the only answer, because he is the only person who can tackle the sinful nature and provide a solution through his death on the cross, when he died and he gave his life, so that we can actually change, because we cannot change ourselves. People are broken. People have wounds, pain in their heart. So I believe that it should start with healing from Jesus Christ. Ask him to touch people, and then, biblically speaking as well, follow his example. Jesus went out of his comfort zone, and he said, you know, the Samaritans are not our best friends. For many years, they are considered as our enemies. You can't sit together, you can't share meals together, we can't have any relationships together. You know, Hebrews said, we've got nothing to do with these people. And Jesus is saying, you know what? These are the people that I'm going to visit today, and I'm going to have a conversation today. So with them today. So we've got to get out of our comfort zone. Follow Jesus' example. It's not easy, but as we believe that Jesus is in us, and what is not comfortable, he can make it comfortable. You know, when you don't know what to say, as I said earlier, when I've been challenged by this issue, sometimes I would just pray in my heart and say, Lord, what should I do?
I love that concept of like Jesus was so willing to step into other people's worlds. I just think, you know, for me, I want to be someone that steps into other people's worlds, and actually is willing to be a little bit uncomfortable, you know. I just think we're so awesomely positioned as a church and as a youth ministry to be able to model this so well, you know. We don't have to go out and find people that are different to us. Our church is full of a whole wide range of people from different backgrounds and races, and our youth ministry is full of young people from different backgrounds and races, and you know, we're a better place to start in a way. Jess, you want to add some of your thoughts?
Yes. So for me, I totally agree with David that we definitely need to start within the church. Well, as a church, it's something that we should lead with. But then the practicalities of going out there, you know, it's quite challenging because ignorance has been normalized, and people feel really uncomfortable when their core beliefs are challenged, you know. And I think one of the best things to do for myself as a Christian, going out there when facing, I mean, even myself, I think I'm normalized to try not to make other people feel comfortable just because of the color of my skin. If I step into an elevator, I'm very conscious that someone will feel threatened. But for me as a Christian, what can I do? Going out into the world, show the love of God, you know, just, hi, how are you? And all of a sudden, whether they reply to me or not, you know, that's fine. But I'm hoping that me showing continuous love plants those seeds. And those seeds eventually, it may not be me, it may be another person and another person that they encounter. But if I can just continually plant seeds of love, then hopefully, you know, it's something to start God changing their heart. And I think that for too long, we've allowed this discomfort to be, you know, because one of the topics or one of the things that's been coming up is everyone goes, you know, this is a very uncomfortable topic. And I feel as if that's the plan of the devil. Keep people uncomfortable, because if they're uncomfortable, they shy away from it. Yeah. And if they shy away from it, the light cannot be shone, you know, the light cannot fight the dark. And even us ourselves as, you know, people of God in the church, we need to challenge this feeling of uncomfortableness, because I feel like that's the plan of the devil. But no, what does God want us to do? You know, be uncomfortable, step in, go, you know, go where Jesus went. He went in places that people, it was so radical, the places that he went to, but he went there, you know, and he found some amazing people. Paul would not have had the opportunity to switch over, you know, if that change didn't happen, but he was and did amazing things once that thing happened. And so we have to challenge this feeling of uncomfortableness, you know, and then once we challenge that feeling, that's the first step. So having these kinds of conversations about it, you know, I bet you the next time you have a conversation about it, you feel less uncomfortable. And that's how we chip away at the plan of the devil, you know, chip away at this kind of thinking that has been so normal that society has pressed on us. And then as a church, if we start chipping away at this uncomfortableness that we feel, it becomes easier to talk about, it becomes easier to address, and it becomes easier to fight. You know, and when I say fight, I mean in the way of fighting injustice. Yes. And fighting for people who can't fight for themselves, people who don't have a voice.
Yeah, so good. That's really, really helpful. You started to touch on some of the practical ways that we can start to dismantle and dismantle prejudice and unconscious bias and systemic racism. What I've seen is, and you touched on it earlier really, really nicely, but social media is like such a powerful vehicle for putting things on people's radar And the reason why this has become so prevalent and big is in large part due to social media and the news spreading, and some of the conversations I've had with different young people, that's what they've said. They've said, the news got spread so much more this time that was the reason why this is the place we've reached. That there's been so many other videos and so many other cases, and that's tragic. But for some reason, this is the moment where this has just spread and exploded. But how do we stop it from just being a hashtag? How do we stop it from just being a post that we forward on? What else can we do that's more than just engaging on social media?
So I think that first step forward is literally to say to God, shine a light on anything in here that shouldn't be. Number one, I am willing to let go of anything that is not of you. That's the first step. And then the next step in terms of practicality, I think education. Even myself, I've taken the time to research, research and find out, because racism is really systematic, and it's there for power and it's there for greed, and it's been created and interwoven into society. And it is, I think a lot of people say, oh, well, it's happening in America, but it's not happening here. And so to even challenge that statement, I've gone myself and done research and looked at the facts. Well, in actuality, the British Empire started it. How was America founded? It was the New Worlds, it was the colonies. And so that shifted. Now, you may have the two different ways of America. They're very open with it and they're in your face, and, they're very open in their hatred of things. Whereas Britain, it's almost worse, because it's that keep calm and carry on while I continue to gaslight you. So in order to combat this gaslighting that they do of, well, I don't think it's that way, or I don't think it's how, we take the time to educate ourselves, find out what really happened, look back on history, to not just let this be a hashtag. Take the time and Google and research. I mean, even up to this morning, I Googled, what does the Bible say about racism? And my knowledge has just been expanded from that one act of conducting some research. And then in terms of allyship on the double side of the coin, one of the phrases that has been coming up is white privilege. And I know it's an uncomfortable statement that's been had, because I think nobody really wants to admit that they could be benefiting just because they don't have black skin. But to ask yourself, what can you do? It says in Proverbs, speak up for those who can't speak for themselves and ensure justice for those being crushed. So what can you do? If you're a teenager and you're in the local shop and you see someone being picked on, you can speak up for them and say, hey, hang on a minute, that's not okay. I'm not going to stand here while you bully him. It's not right. So these are these small little things and small steps that you can take. And it could just be in your day to day. I myself have challenged my parents in these past few weeks because they've had that systematic brainwashing. And I said, hang on, guys, your thinking is not right. So, that step I take is just also challenge my immediate surroundings to say, hang on, let's rethink this. Let's rework this, because the thing that the way that we've been thinking, I don't think it's right. And then in terms of, affecting change, to go beyond just a hashtag and go beyond a protest that happens last week, is to, write to the people in power. Our local MPs are basically, they answer to their areas. So if you want to know in terms of allyship and what you can do, is use your voice. There's a statue in St. Andrew's Square that is to commemorate Lord Dundas, who slowed the abolishment of slavery for a further, I think it's 15 years. And so people are petitioning to either put a plaque on it to acknowledge the correct history or remove the statue, because we don't want to celebrate something that isn't actually so great. And so if you want to use your voice, you can do it that way. But I think allyship starts something so small as, how do I support my brothers and sisters? We are so blessed to be diverse. with our church. We have so many beautiful cultures, so many beautiful people, you know, that have so much to offer and enrich. And so that allyship, if you're afraid as to, I don't know if I could take a big, huge step and start challenging politics, well, then it can start something small. One, ask God to give you the strength and the bravery that when you're faced with it and your friends or people you know or your neighbor or somebody, that you can stand up and say, this isn't right, you know, and then from there on, just support. I think that it's really great that we continue to have these conversations. And even in having this conversation, you're showing me that you are my ally. You are my brother. You want to understand what I've been going through. You want to educate yourself on what you do going forward and how we can combat this. Because if you think about it, everything happens for a reason. It took COVID to stop us all in our tracks. We were at home. We have the time. We had the time to not be distracted by going to work and being busy, to see this injustice. Because it's not the first one that's happened. It's one of many. But we all had the time to see it and go, you know, in the comfort of our living rooms to go, whoa, you know, this is happening. And so now is a really great time to go beyond this hashtag and just say, okay, I want to change myself first. That's what I want. Whatever's there, I don't want it there. And then just, you know, allyship could be, I want to learn more. I want to support you. Tell me more. How do I change my phrases that have been embedded in me? How do I change my question? It can be something so small. It only takes one step at a time to get somewhere really far.
Yeah, that's really, really helpful. Yeah, I love a lot of what you said about, you know, examining your own heart and using your voice and standing up for any instances of racism, whether it's really obvious and clear or whether it's something that's a little bit more under the surface, like calling that out. And I think I like that you finished on that. Like, let's make sure that we start this in our youth ministry, you know. We should be an example of how the love of Jesus can break down every cultural barrier, and actually that's so attractive to that's what I think partly the way that God designed the church to be, and it's such an attractive thing. David, I wonder if any other thoughts and throw them in, and then I'd love you to just pray a short prayer for us, for everyone that's watching.
I just wanted to add a couple of things before we pray. The first one is when you read in John chapter 4 verse, this is about Jesus and the Samaritan woman. You see that on verse 9 it says the woman was surprised, for Jews refused to have anything to do with Samaritans. She said to Jesus, "You are a Jew and I'm a Samaritan. Woman, why are you asking me for a drink?" And verse 10 says, Jesus replied, "If you only knew the gift God has for you." And I just first she shows surprise because Jesus took a step to go somewhere he wasn't supposed to be. I would like to encourage people. There are places that you don't go to, restaurants or neighborhoods, or just because you were told this is a place for these particular kind of people. But why don't we be bold and take that step and go and visit this place and let God use us, you know. Secondly, if we're in 2 Corinthians 5, 17 to 20, it talks about reconciliation, how God has called us to be mediators between these two blocks, you know. It's just good for us to see ourselves as black or as white. Just let go there as children of God. Let go there as mediators. Let's go there as peacemakers and stand in between and tell them, you know what, you are all brothers, you are sisters. Let's just come together and talk about this issue.
I know we talked about that a little bit as well on the phone, the idea that, like, you know, our individual identity in terms of our race is so important and so valuable, and there's so much richness in that. But actually, when we become Christians and start following Jesus, our identity as children of God and followers of Him and comes above that. And that's what's so awesome about the body of Christ, is that's that uniting factor of being part of the same family and being brothers and sisters, that actually comes above the fact that we're from different races and ethnicities. I'd love you just to finish by praying for us, David.
Father God, we thank you for the wonderful time that we have had to talk about this issue of racism, injustice, and Lord, we pray that whoever who is listening to this will be encouraged to know that whatever label they've put on them, to know that they are first children of God and they have originated from you, Lord. So Lord, we pray that as we combat this issue, that we will not depend on ourselves, our abilities and our strength and our knowledge, but that we will rely on your cross, because it's not easy. It's been there for thousands of years, but we believe that with you it is possible. We pray that you help us to live like you, show love to everyone, and value everyone, Lord. Pray for the youth, and that the youth ministry will be an example in Edinburgh and beyond, as we live together, bound together as brothers and sisters, regardless of our differences, that we love each other, we care for each other, and that we go hand in hand, setting a good example for those who see us, and that we glorify you. We praise you for what you have studied in us, and that we praise you for the wonderful plans that you have ahead. And we are delighted to walk with you through this. In Jesus' name, amen.
Wow, what an awesome interview and opportunity to hear from two awesome youth leaders. I loved doing that, and I loved hanging out with you both, Jess and David, and I realised that a couple of things, I guess. If you're just joining us for the very first week, I realise that that's a very big topic to have on your first week. So it might have been, if you felt like, oh my goodness, that's quite scary, or that's quite overwhelming, or that's so big, that's okay. But we love in Destiny Youth to talk about things that are current and things that are relevant, and do the best that we can to bring the truth of God's word to that situation. And it's so helpful just to have Jess and David's voice into that. So if you've got questions or you're confused in any way, it might be worth, after the end of the stream, why not have a conversation with your parents? Why not sit down? You might want to play them the interview back and ask, what do you think about this? Let's have a chat about this. And start opening up more conversations. One of the things that we've said quite a few times over this season is that this is not something that we're just going to find all the answers to in one conversation or one moment. This is a journey of multiple conversations and multiple moments. So I would encourage you. And also, if you're affected on a really deep level, we have church counsellors that would love to talk to you, and we can also point you in the right direction. If you're watching this and you're a young person of colour and you particularly would like to speak to a black counsellor, we can point you in the right direction with that. But let's continue the conversation in our small groups. If you're not joined one, make sure you get involved in one. They're the places where we find life, they're the places where we find hope, and where we get to be family, and we get to work out that whole idea that we are part of this beautiful, diverse body, but we're united in the fact that we all have a relationship with Jesus. It's a beautiful picture and an awesome thing to be part of. So hey, what else have we got coming up this week?
Oh, we have some exciting things.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Should we throw the weekly schedule up, and we can give everyone a reminder as we finish off for this evening?
Sunday, don't forget to join us for church online. We've got it from 10:30 in the morning. We've got pastors online that would love to chat to you. Again at 6 o'clock. Mark will be there on Sunday night.
At 6?
6 o'clock.
Come say hi to me on the chat.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity to just listen to a great message and have some worship and just stay connected to the church, which is really great.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. Hey, and we like to keep our promises and keep our word on Friday Night Youth Live, don't we?
We do.
So when we promise a free pizza, we like to deliver on a free pizza, don't we?
Yes, and in fact, I think a free pizza is out for delivery right now.
What? Say what? So if your name is Tatiana and you're still watching the stream right now, you will be getting a Domino's pizza. I don't know, we can't give you the exact time, but it's on its way as we speak.
Looking over at my
Domino's.
Domino's.
Should we show them? Show them. We actually wanted to show you the special Domino's guy is in the house, and he can confirm that this is actually out for delivery. Check it out, look. It's in the final stages. It's coming your way, Tatiana. Hey, pays to be involved on a Friday night, pays to be on the chat. If you're watching this and you're new youth to youth, bet you'll be putting something on the chat next week so you can get your free pizza. It's been so good to be together. We've had a great time. The last thing to remind you of is do not go anywhere after this. After hours is still happening, so we want to see you there. I'm going to be there. Green and Runa are going to be there. We want to hang out with you. If you're not too sure of the Zoom details, message a small group leader or send us a message on Instagram, or actually just reach out in the chat and say I don't have the details, and if we're already connected to you, we'll try and make sure that you get them. But we'll leave the chat open for a few minutes at the end of this, just in case you want to check you've got the right details. But why not jump on over to the Zoom? We'll be starting in a few minutes with Graham and Rona. Come hang out with us. But it's been so good to be together. Don't forget Church Online on Sunday, and we will see you in small groups Monday and Thursday next week. Have a phenomenal week.
Have a good weekend.
Bye.